Right now at 5, police involved in a shooting, and now a woman's in the hospital.
We're on the scene tonight in Norfolk working to learn how this happened.
Then, someone found trespassing on a Virginia Beach high school, sparking concerns.
They told us that we had to stay in class for an administrative delay.
We're at Kempsville High School speaking with students about what happened.
Plus, a stunt pilot training for a local air show dies in a crash.
And I was like, no, that's not normal. Something happened right there.
We're following through with those who knew him and what this means for the future of that air show.
WTKR News 3 at 5 starts now.
Only here on 3, we're hearing from the man locked up in connection to the shooting on ODU's campus.
This is my brother's son, my brother's youngest son, getting shot in my face.
What he says really happened while his family mourns the loss of his nephew. Plus, people rally to support a Portsmouth student facing a charge in what she says was an accident.
I'm not even conversation. I wouldn't even do that on purpose.
We're continuing our coverage of this viral incident with a look at today's events.
Excited to see tonight's total lunar eclipse? Well, I've got 2 reasons why you might not be. Clouds and fog. Details on what you are likely to see this weekend coming up.
WTKR News 3 at 11 starts now.
As you can see, we're tracking several developing stories across Hampton roads at this hour, and we begin in Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk police say that they shot and injured a woman this afternoon, and her injuries are serious.
News 3 reporter Leandra Head is joining us live now on Sewell's Point Road near the Washington Park neighborhood. She's working to learn more about why police say they opened fire. Leandra, what are police telling you?
Oh, Jessica and Kurt, there is a very heavy police presence here on Sewell's Point Road in Norfolk after the Norfolk Police Chief Mark Talbot says that officers shot at a woman. Now, a witness that I spoke to just a few minutes ago says that the shooting happened in this parking lot right here that you're looking at right here. There's a restaurant here, a few shops here, and a barbershop. The witness that I spoke to, he tells me that the shooting happened right outside of the barbershop, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I can clearly still see evidence markers in that parking lot. But officers were called out to Sewell's Point Road and Avenue J around 2 this afternoon. Chief Mark Talbot gave an update about an hour ago, and he says that police were called out for a woman suspect who police say was previously involved in an assault. The chief says the woman was carrying a weapon, and Talbot says officers gave her commands to put down a bag that she was holding. The chief says the woman ignored officers' commands and say the woman reached into her bag and pulled out a weapon and pointed it at officers. That's when Chief Mark Talbot says that officers fired several shots at that woman. Now, I did get a chance to speak to a man who witnessed the shooting, and here's what he tells me.
Schiopota says, freeze, freeze. She didn't want to freeze, freeze. She didn't want to freeze, so when she know to freeze, and then she went in between the cars, she put in her hand in the bag, and then she took out the gun, and that's when the police shoot.
What happened after that?
That's it, after the police shoot, she went down.
She went down?
Yeah.
Now, Chief Mark Talbot says that the woman was taken to the hospital and says that the woman was struck at least one time. Now, we're working to learn the condition of that woman and what she could be charged with. As we do learn those details, we will be sure to update you on air and online. But for now, live in Norfolk, I'm Leandra Head, WTKR News 3.
Leandra, thank you for that live report. We knew you'll be following through. We'll see you again tonight on News 3 at 6.
And now this, developing in Hampton, we are learning new details about a plane crash that killed celebrated stunt pilot Rob Holland as he was preparing for this weekend's air show at Langley Air Force Base.
And less than 2 hours ago, the base and the National Transportation Safety Board held a news conference about Rob Holland's death and what this means moving forward for the air show.
News 3 Hampton neighborhood reporter Coulter Anstett live outside the base. Coulter, you were at that news conference. What did you learn?
Now, we learned there are still more questions than answers tonight. The NTSB is going to take the wreckage of Holland's plane off base to an undisclosed location to examine that wreckage. This is Holland, who, as we've reported, his social media accounts have identified him as the person killed. Neither the base nor the NTSB, though, have officially identified him. According to the NTSB, the plane's engine, flight controls, avionics, pilot qualifications, and maintenance logs are all things that will be looked at over the next 2 to 3 days. A preliminary report about what happened will likely take about 2 to 3 weeks to come out, but the full report will likely take a year to a year and a half. As News 3 has reported, according to his bio on his website, Holland had more than 15,000 flight hours and close to 200 types of aircraft. The NTSB said this afternoon the plane was making a normal landing Thursday when it crashed into the ground between the runway and the taxiway.
I'm going to examine everything with the aircraft. If I find something during that investigation that the industry needs to know about, we will immediately put out a safety bulletin for all pilots that fly that class. Hey, you know, be on the lookout, or we're looking at this or something, but we just don't know yet. We're not there.
As for the air show this weekend, the base's commander said it is going to go on as scheduled, though there are still some discussions about what that final plan will look like. Today, I also talked to a woman who says she lives near the base and says she believes she heard the crash on Thursday. She says it's not going to deter her from coming to the air show. In fact, she's now looking forward to coming to the air show. She hopes to be part of any kind of memorial that will be held for Holland. Live in Hampton, Coulter and Stat, WTKR News 3.
All right, Coulter, we appreciate that live update, and we look forward to your reporting because we're going to be coming back to you later on tonight at 6.
And our coverage continues this evening on WTKR.com, where we are sharing more about pilot Rob Holland, his career as a stunt pilot, and more about his legacy. That's in the full article at WTKR.com. We also have more on what we know happened leading up to the crash. Again, that's at WTKR.com.
And now to Virginia Beach, where an increased police presence at Kempsville High School after a scare as police arrest a man on campus for trespassing.
Parents receiving a notification about the incident earlier today, so we sent your neighborhood reporter, John Hood, live at Kempsville to get answers.
All right, so John, you know, you've been out there trying to get information. What do you know so far about what was going on out there?
Yeah, hey, Kurt and Jess. Well, just after noon, I pulled up here to this parking lot outside the parking lot of Kempsville High School. And from here, I could see several police officers forming a red truck in this area over here behind me. It's the student pickup and drop-off area. Now, what we know so far is Virginia Beach police responded out here to Kempsville High School for one man who was allegedly trespassing. When police arrived at the school, the man was arrested and had outstanding warrants against him from another jurisdiction. Police tell us no guns were found on him. He didn't make his way inside of the school, and no one was injured. I spoke with some seniors outside of the school parking lot who were on early release who tell me it seems police acted pretty quickly, and it did not cause the school to go into lockdown.
It was kind of just we got out, because we get out after third block with the excuse blocks. When we were all walking out, we saw the truck and all the cops over there. So, like, it was just, we just wanted to know what was happening.
And the students were put on a brief administrative hold while this was happening. In this video, you can see police towing away that red truck that is believed to be part of this incident. Now, police are still investigating this matter, and as we head into the weekend, we still have a lot more questions we're looking to get answers for, such as why was this man in the school parking lot? As soon as we learn more information, we'll be sure to update you. In Virginia Beach, I'm John Hood at WTKR News 3.
All right, John, we know you're going to stay on top of it, and like you said, still a lot of unanswered questions, so we look forward to hearing more from you later on tonight on News 3 at 6.
And the News 3 team will continue our conversations with school leaders to learn more, which we'll share on the News 3 app. So scan the QR code there on your screen. It's a simple and easy way to download the app. You can also head to WTKR.com/apps.
Starts now.
And we begin tonight with this update to breaking news. Firefighters battling this devastating fire at a condominium complex in Hampton. This was the scene today as that massive fire ripped through the building that sits along the Hampton River. This evening, we have team coverage of the devastation, covering every angle of this developing story on the peninsula. And we begin with your Hampton neighborhood news reporter, Coulter Anstad. Coulter, you have been on this scene all day. It's just devastating to see how this fire damaged these homes behind you.
Yeah, devastating, especially because this is Good Friday of all days. As I mentioned at 5 o'clock, the scene is still active, but it does appear to continue to be wrapping up. We continue to see firefighters cleaning up some fire department vehicles leaving here at the condominium complex, but there are still some fire department vehicles here to my left. I can see at least two fire engines and at least 2 ambulances, and you can also see, if I step out of the way and we zoom in, some folks up there, I think what looks like on the 3rd floor of the burnt out building, or what was the 3rd floor. I've been watching them for the last 20 or 30 minutes or so. They've been going through what appears to be some of the debris from the fire. Not sure exactly what they're doing, but again, obviously still a very active scene here at the condominium complex. I believe we've got some video from around 2 o'clock this afternoon we can show you shortly after I got here. You can see firefighters spraying water on the building from the ground and from the air. According to a spokesperson for Hampton Fire Rescue, 2 people were rescued from the burning building. Exactly how they were rescued, he didn't know when we spoke to him this afternoon. One of those people rescued was taken to a hospital to be treated for minor injuries, along with a firefighter who we're told may have been suffering from heat exhaustion. The cause of the fire and where the fire started is still under investigation right now. But as you can imagine, the spokesperson from the fire department says a lot of work was required to put this fire out.
Once fire units got here, they immediately went on an aggressive interior attack, but then had to back out of the structure due to the partial roof collapse. Once they did that, we initiated a second alarm, which brought another contingency of firefighters and equipment. At one time, we had 25 units when you count support units on the scene.
He says the biggest challenge was actually the narrow road leading into the complex. Firefighters weren't able to get as much equipment in here as they would have liked. He also said the wind was a little bit of a factor. Live in Hampton, Coulter Anstadt, WTKR News 3.
Coulter, thanks for sharing that update and those images with us. Again, devastating to see. Coulter is now working to get some additional information about what's unfolding there as we expand our team coverage tonight. And I have to tell you, if you live in Hampton, work near Hampton, you probably saw the big plume of smoke coming from this fire. Let's take a look at this. This is video sent to us, shared with us by a Hampton University student. While she was on campus, Kennedy Scales was our intern and is a student in the Scripps Howard School of Journalism. She said, hey, something is going on here, and she was certainly right. You see the plume of smoke from Hampton University, which is, you know, miles away, just a few minutes away from the fire scene. And another viewer sent us a video of this. Oh, just look at that. You can see the dark gray plumes were clear for miles and miles. Just devastating to see. So when you see that, you understand the type of destruction we're seeing on the ground. So let's continue our coverage tonight with News 3 reporter Leandra Head, who is there at the scene now. Leandra, you've been working to get reaction from people who live there and who live nearby. What are they telling you?
Well, Jessica, this is a very unfortunate situation. People who live in this building right here behind me, you know, as you can imagine, they are very distraught as they no longer have a home to go to. And I actually spoke to a few firefighters and the Red Cross that are still here on scene. New details that they are telling me. They say around 20 people no longer have a home after the devastating fire. They say 12 units are deemed not habitable, no longer livable. Take a look at this video here. This is video from that fire. Now, this is a riverfront community. It can be seen along the Hampton River. That's very close to downtown Hampton. And this is actually not too far from Hampton University's campus. I actually spoke to a Hampton University parent and daughter who live in this complex, and they say they rushed over to the complex when they saw smoke coming from this area. They were actually on Hampton University's campus. When they saw the smoke, that's when they rushed over here. Now, they say their building was not damaged or impacted, but they do say the people who live in the building that caught on fire, those people are in their thoughts and prayers. Now, one resident that our News 3 crew did speak to earlier today lives in a building nearby that caught on the building. They live in the building nearby that caught on fire. She says her condo building was not impacted, but says that she was looking out of her window when she saw black smoke coming from the building nearby.
because this is a small community. I was saying, like, you still meet a lot of people always coming in and out, moving in. It's heart-wrenching, honestly. You know, it's fortunate that it's not the situation, you know, where I live, but it's just still like, these are people that you see every day. Somebody's impacted. So it sucks.
Now, Hampton firefighters are still here on scene working to learn what exactly caused the devastating fire. But just take a look here on scene. You see several crews and several Hampton firefighter units are still here on scene. They've been on the scene here now for several hours working to get to the bottom of this and find out exactly what happened. But for now, live in Hampton, I'm Leandra Head, WTKR News 3.
Leandra Head rounding out our team coverage there in Hampton. So stay with us throughout the evening. Leandra's working to get more information, trying to talk to people who lost their homes. You'll see her again tonight live on News 3 at 11. And right now our coverage extends to WTKR.com. There you can see more images of the fire. And that's the first place we will share updates between now and News 3 at 11 at WTKR.com. Just click inside this story. We turn our attention now to breaking news out of Newport News. Police say a man is dead this evening from a shooting. Police sharing the details with us only an hour ago, saying this happened around 3:15 this afternoon on 35th Street. Officers say they found a man there with a gunshot wound. He was transported to a hospital where he died. Police have not shared any information about a suspected gunman, but we will be sure to update you on air at WTKR.com and on the News 3 app.